Alright, so hello guys and welcome, and today we are going to be playing what I think is a very exciting and interesting deck, and that is Temur Pili-Pala. Now, not many people play Pili-Pala in Pauper, although I think it's a very strong deck, but if they do, they play it in the chant colors. This means they are splashing black rather than blue, but I think this deck has a lot to gain from splashing blue. So basically what I've done is I've taken the Jeskai Ephemerate shell. It might not seem like it, but we have the bridges with the wildfires and the snow-covered mana base along with the Lauren revealed and of course Scratch. And I've made some significant changes to splash for green instead and to make this a Pili-Pala combo deck. Now, if you don't know how the Pili-Pala combo works, it's basically you play the Pili-Pala, you enchant it with the cultivation here, which says that you can tap the creature to add green, then the Pili-Pala has an ability which says 2 mana and untap it to add 1 mana of any color. This way you net a color and you have infinite mana with those two cards. You win through something like the Invoker, which basically we can spend 8 mana to deal 3 damage to any target. Pretty awesome. Like I said, people normally splash black, but we are splashing blue. Now, why would we do that? Well, blue has some pretty decent ways to draw cards, and it has counterspells, which is very important for combo decks to protect the combo, of course. So we are playing 2 Dispel to protect the Pili-Pala and snipe some very good spells in this metagame, like High Tide for example. 4 Preordains to dig through the deck here, 2 counterspells as well, 1 Compulsive Research, and 2 Drifts of Phantasms. I think this is very awesome. So basically it's a 3 mana for 0/5 with Defender and Flying, but I think that's not how we will play this card. We will use the Transmute ability most of the time, which means we can find the Invoker, very important piece of the combo, and the Cultivation, that's a second piece of the combo. If we have both of those pieces, we can instead find the Pulse of Murasa to return the Pili-Pala or the Invoker if it has been removed or discarded, or we can search for the Compulsive Research to actually gain more cards if we are very close to comboing off, or if we have the combo going and we need more cast this way. So I think the Transmute is very good, and in the same vein, I was thinking about playing Muddle the Mixture, which has the Transmute ability as well, and we could be searching for things like Pili-Pala and Bitter Reunion. By the way, the Reunion is amazing because it can give Pili-Pala haste so that it doesn't wait for the summoning sickness and we can go off instantly when we enchant it, so this is very awesome, and it draws cards and it discards a card, which means we can discard something like the Deep Analysis. It's such an awesome card in this deck. But Muddle the Mixture could find it, but I simply didn't find space in the deck to include it. So if you have any ideas how to get the card here, I would love to hear that. And the same is true for the Writhing Chrysalis. This deck has no midrange plan, it's a pure combo deck. Some versions, especially the chant ones, play Writhing Chrysalis as a backup plan. We don't. We are going fully for the combo here and to protect it with the counterspells and the dispels and so on and so forth. And the rest of the deck is pretty much some card draw, Deep Analysis, Lauren revealed. That's really awesome since we can get some lands early and then draw cards. The Wildfires, the Deep Analysis, we can cast that from the graveyard when we discard it with the Reunion or with the Research. So that's basically the deck here. Full combo, no midrange in this one. Now let's take a look at the sideboard. Last but not least, we have the Weather Storm here. Now this is very important against some aggressive decks. We have trouble to actually keep up against mono red, so not only we play Weather the Storm, but we play the Hydroblast as well. The same is true for the Pyroblast. This is mostly for High Tide, but Fairies and Terrors can be really annoying too, especially if some of them are playing the counter spells, which a lot of blue decks do, of course. So the Pyroblast is really important in that sense. Only one Fiery Cannonade, which could be replaced by a Breath Weapon, but basically there are not many go-to white decks here. There is one version of mono red, there are the elves and fairies, and that's mostly it, I would say. One more safekeeping to actually protect the Pili-Pala. It gives the indestructible and hexproof, we gain 2 life, so it has some uses here and there. 2 the Glamour to shuffle some enchantments or artifacts, very good card. 2 Tangle, great against beatdown decks, and I do like it a little bit more than Moment's Peace, because Moment's Peace has to be cast twice. We can cast the Tangle only once, and we basically have one turn when we prevent the combat damage and the second turn when the creatures are tapped, so that's pretty awesome. So let me know what you think about this deck, or if you would prefer a version with Muddle the Mixture or the Writhing Chrysalis, or if you like the list as it is right now, and I will see you in the games. And if you would like to share your deck with us, or maybe get some MTG advice, or join the brainstorming we do, we now have a Discord channel for the community you can join by clicking on the first link in the description, and enjoy the video. Okay, so we win the die roll against Bring Back Pluto, and we find a hand that is pretty good actually. Let's keep this one. Let's start with the bridge and say go. Okay, they are on a swamp. This could be another mono black sacrifice here. Doesn't look like that so far though. Let's cast Preordain first. Double land. I mean, I guess we take one land here. And that will be the Rimewood Falls here. Let's play the falls. They play a land. And play a Blood Fountain. Whoa, that's interesting. So that's a deck with a Blood Fountain and swamps. This could be mono black devotion, honestly. That's cool. So we could full find the combo here if we need to. I think we will. Let's actually transmute the Drift of Phantasms here. And we will find a Careful Cultivation with this one. So since they are playing black, I'm expecting a lot of removal spells. Okay, they find a swamp with the troll. Okay, looks like they are mono black. What's gonna be Sign in Blood? Actually looks like... That's a cool print, by the way. I haven't seen this before. Okay, we find more Lorien reveals. Yeah, I think we're gonna cycle one Lorien with this. Roll up with a Snow-Covered Island so that we can transmute this turn. And we will transmute for a Valakut Invoker. We have the full combo in hand now. Now it's the matter of protecting the Pili-Pala, right? They go for Pristine Talisman, so this is like a control deck. Of course, Pristine Talisman is not very useful against us because we are able to go infinite here, but looks like a very cool deck so far. I enjoyed decks with Pristine Talisman. And they go for another Blood Fountain. Damn, okay. Looks like a Grindy Shell as well. Find a Bolt. Do we cycle the Lorien or do we grind it for the cards? We could pull the Phantasm here. Oh, I know what we could do. If we want some land drops. We could sacrifice this land, search for our library for a basic land. Shall it be a mountain? And we can pulse back for the landscape and play the landscape if we really want to, right? That's completely okay. And then we can play the revealed. I like this. Play the landscape. And we can crack that end of turn. I assume for an island, or it could be a forest as well, but I think I'm going for an island here. I love the combo of pools plus the landscapes to actually get a land drop. That's sick. Okay, they run the Pristine Talisman, cycle a troll with that one. Good combo here. They go for a Witch's Cottage, probably putting the troll on top to actually gain a playable card, maybe something like that. Yeah, they run the Witch's Cottage and put a troll on the top here. So we could go in if they play the troll. Problem is we have no counterspells yet, and I absolutely bet Duress is extremely annoying. I hate Duress, but let's see what you take. You know, the most problematic would be if they would take the cultivation, I think, but... Or actually the Lorien would be the worst. Okay, they take the cultivation here. Chittering Rats? No, it's for mana. Okay. Scurrious Entry. This is definitely mono black devotion here. You never see this card almost. It's a good card though. We can scrap that though. Okay, let's sacrifice. And let's go for an island. Find a bridge. We definitely wanna Lorien this turn. And if we draw... Well, we don't have an untapped mountain, right? So that's tough. Lorien Preordained Bridge, okay. That's it for us here. They're running low on cards, so the Pili-Pala could work sooner or later, right? We also need to be aware of the life here, because if they play a troll, we might need to scrap at least this guy, or maybe the troll with the amount of snow-covered lands. If we find another one here, that would be nice. They hit us for nothing, because this is their turn, yeah. Yeah. I was confused here a little bit, because it looked like they were playing, but then I was like, well, the land didn't really untap, did they? Okay, so they convive one more time. So this is a 5. No, they discard the land, so it's still 4. We can snipe it with Discard. Discard the land, though. Okay, they will probably play a troll here, right? Ooh, Gurmag, that's nasty. We might need to kill that. Counterspell is good. Let's roll out the Preordain first to see what we do here. Cultivation is great. Let's top that up. They have 3 cards left. Do we try the Pili-Pala here? Keeping the counterspell as a backup? If they have like a Tiding Blade, I don't know. Something is telling me, you know, their hand is full of removal. I don't know what it is though. Just something. I think we will chill here, to be honest. We could also, because we didn't play a land this turn if I'm not mistaken, or no, we played the bridge, okay. Nah, I think we'll risk the Pili-Pala here. Let's risk the Pala, we have a counterspell for it. Let's risk it, they have 3 cards. It's actually a surprisingly hard matchup, right? They hit us for 8. They convive with the sentry here. I think we will scred it, which I completely forgot to do before, don't know why. I shouldn't have given them the trigger even. I completely forgot about the sentry and me wanting it to convive, right? That was a mistake because it means they can find the removal if they want to, right? Yep, it's a swamp, so this could be a removal. Defile, do we try to counterspell that? I guess we do, right? But I bet they have more. They have a cast down, yep. We knew this. That's fine. We have some time here. Bitter Reunion is actually quite nice. We will roll out the Larian here. Wildfire. Okay, I guess we want to play the Forest. I think we will run the Reunion here, probably. We could also run the Wildfire if we wanted to. But if we drop Pili-Pala, this is the easier way to combo, right? So let's run the Reunion and... Oops. Thinking, what shall we discard? Is it the Wildfire or is it the Lightning Bolt? I don't know, it's probably the Wildfire, honestly. It's the Wildfire. Counterspell Wildfire, not bad. We have the Lightning Bolt ready if they play some small creature here. We just need to find the another Pili-Pala, right? We have 3 left in the deck, so it shouldn't be that hard. They hit us for 5. End step, okay, so they're chilling. Slacks with Bridge. Seems like a necessity to go for a Larian here. Need to find the Pala, dude. Here it is. So we are going in next turn, probably. Play Bridge. We need to keep the counterspell because next turn is the turn, right? How much mana is it? It's so much mana. It's so much mana. Or do we believe we will find the Invoker too? Because we could slam the Invoker here. How much mana this is? This is 5. To give it haste is 6. And the counterspell is 8. We do have 8 though. We do have 8. So let's probably just Cleansing Wildfire then. Maybe find some Dispels or something. That would be nice. Another Pili-Pala. Okay, not bad. We do have 8 cards. We will just discard the Bridge probably here. Pristine Talisman. Add 4 to that. Returning 2 creatures with a Blood Fountain, pretty smart. We will discard the Bridge here, simple. So 2 of these cards are creatures, we know this. They hit us with the fish. We got hit by the fish. They go for the Convive guy. We will kill that with a bolt. Before they have the chance to put a counter on that thing. They have only 2 mana. So unless they have double Defile, we should be okay. I mean, the very safest draw would be Dispel, right? I mean, let's go for it then. Let's run the Pili-Pala. Let's run the Careful Cultivation. Here's a cast down, so we will counterspell that. Unless they run Snuff Out, at which point, like, we are pretty done, right? Okay, so we can add infinite mana here, that's good. Because we will give this guy haste. At which point, that's awesome. Combo time, I guess. Let's play the Invoker here. And we need, this is what, 8 times 8, 64 mana. Let's go, we have some work to do. Okay, whoa. So we win the first match. It seems like they didn't find the Snuff Out. But after the sideboard, this could be a problem, so let's try this. So we are on the sideboard here, and this will be a grind game, I can imagine, so... The Lightning Bolt was decent. The Dispel is super important. We will take off 1 Drift, I think, and replace that with Tamiyo Safekeeping, which seems very important in this matchup as well. And other than that, I will honestly say I am not sure. We could do some tangles, but that doesn't really fit. I don't think they are a beatdown deck necessarily, so let's just run it like this. Find a beautiful 0-lander, 20 lands in deck, by the way. Let's mulligan this one. And this looks much better. Let's keep this one. 2 Pili-Pala. I mean, the rest is just awesome. I will just ditch the Pili-Pala, and this is a great hand. They run out a Blood Fountain on turn 1. Okay, we will play a Slagswood Bridge. Say go. They Bahuka Bog. Okay. Looks like they have an abundance of lands here. We could do the Bountiful Landscape. I kinda wanna preordain, not gonna lie though. Or we could, you know, use the landscape to play this properly. Because we have land, so no real need to preordain, right? I think I will play the Bitter Reunion here though. Yeah, I changed my mind. I think I will play the Bitter Reunion, discarding an island here. Island. Find a Wildfire plus Mountain. That's actually really good. That's really good. Okay, they cycle a Troll. They have the Scroll version, I just noticed. Find a counterspell. That's awesome. So we definitely Wildfire this turn. And I think we preordain as well, to be honest. But we could also just Wildfire, and finally we correct the landscape to actually get rid of some lands. I like that more. Let's get rid of lands first, before we draw with the Wildfire. And roll out an island with this one, and Cleansing Wildfire, this bad boy, and I think we will find a forest with this. Although, do we need to find a forest with this? We have a counterspell in the hand. I think I'm gonna go for another island here. Okay, Cultivation. Well, we have the whole combo here. If they tap out, we just can go in. At 6 mana, right? That's the beauty of this deck in a way. So we're just gonna wait for them to tap out. We have the combo. If they have a duress, that would be annoying. Yeah. Shouldn't have spoken. Instant Cultivation gone, right? Bahuka Bog. Okay. We don't have a way to return this anyway. Pulse of Murasa returns creatures and lands only, so this is okay. We could literally Lorien Revealed here. Is that crazy, or... I think that's cool. Let's Lorien Revealed. Here's a Pulse. Okay. So we need to find either the Transmute guy, Drift of Phantasms, or the enchantment again, the Careful Cultivation, and we should be chill. Hopefully not a Mesmeric Fiend, but who knows. I mean, if they take the Bolt, it's not the end of the world. Nope, it's definitely not. Sovereign, lose 3, gain 3. Okay, I see you. Bridge, Preordain. Let's start off with the Preordain here. Trying to find a Cultivation here, hopefully. Dispel, we don't need neither. Scred is nice. I think we'll Scred this guy, it's good. Roll with the Bridge and Scred. We will do this on our turn so that they can, for example, sacrifice it to something or something like that. We will do that anyway, so let's do that now. We have the counterspell already, although, you know, if it's not like a troll, I definitely won't use counterspell very easily. I want to mostly use it to protect the Pili-Pala, because they could have sideboarded a Snuff Out. That's definitely a concern here. So yeah. Yep, they are chilling here with their removal spells in hand. Okay, Bridge and chill. Return Sovereign and Troll. Yup. Sovereign, I feel like I will probably counterspell that, not gonna lie. Hey, that's what we wanna see here. Deep Unless is beautiful. Scred Preordain. Ooh, I like that. Let's run a Preordain here. Another Reunion. You know what? That's a card draw spell. I like it. Let's run Reunion number 2 here. Probably discarding a land. Discard the Silver Bluff Bridge. Drift. Drift is great. And let's play a Fjord. How many lands do we have? 3, 4, 8? Okay. 9 with this one. Angler here. Okay. Cycle Troll. If they tap out, we can go for it. I don't think they will tap out though. I think they won't be that careless. We have Scred already, which is awesome as well. Troll on the top here. Wow. Unless this is great. We want to dodge the second Bahuka Bog though. So if we were to go in here, what do we need to do? So this So this into that, this into the cultivation is 6, plus 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9, we have that. But then we don't have any protection, so that's a bad plan here. I want to chill with the drifts too. I want a deep analysis first. That's a counterspell. Let's grab this. And I think we will... it's tough. Because if we transmute here and they discard it, like that's pretty tough, right? Although we can pulse back. I mean, we have enough lands next turn. Let's just chill here, honestly. Yeah, let's just chill. Although we could use one deep analysis, not gonna lie. We could use one analysis. We're gonna do that. Then we don't have counterspell, that's cool though. Let's deep analysis. If they have Bohukabok, this could hurt, so... Safekeeping, okay. We have 8 cards in the hand here. I think we'll just lightning bolt their face, so we don't have to discard anything, right? We have this safekeeping as well, so I'm feeling good here on the combo. Next turn. They go Sign in Blood, that's a good start. Do they play the troll here? That's 2 mana left, okay. Sentry, no problem. We will let that through. Tiding Blade discarded. Exile the Grave. That's good. I'm glad we used the analysis then. Do we go in here? This is all removal spells, right? We have another Pala. Yeah, that's the sign. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 10 lands. This costs 9. We have safekeeping as well. Do we try this out? Let's go for it. Let's transmute the drift here. Finding another cultivation. We don't even need to give the haste necessarily, right? Let's try the cultivation here. Let's try it. It works. Really, it works. Let's give creatures haste then. They will try to kill it, right? Yeah. Let's Tameo safekeeping on this guy. If they have snuff out, this might be troubling, but... Okay, now it's indestructible, so we can go in here. Okay. So we win because we just... return... Yeah. Okay. Wait. Oh, I forgot to say. Combo time. Pulse the drift. Transmute the drift. Find a Valakut Invoker. Play Valakut Invoker. And we win the game against a pretty difficult matchup actually, which is Mono Black Devotion. That was awesome, I enjoyed that a lot. So we go second here against Treta Feta. And we find a hand with the full combo, which is good. Let's keep. I think we will start with the Slag's Footbridge, right, probably. It's a Tron deck, probably Flicker Tron. Impulse, okay. More Pili-Palas, cool. Let's play an Island and Reunion. Discarding the Deep Analysis. Find some counter spells, awesome, awesome, awesome. So yeah, we have the combo. When we hit 6 mana, we can go for it. They play Impulse. Play a Conduit Pylons, okay. More Islands, love that, okay. We could go for the Pili-Pala, but I think we'll wait here. Let's just play Bridge and Chill. We have the counterspell if necessary, right? Mole Drifter. Probably not, I think. Draw 2. Yeah, we will counter draw 2. Another plant, okay. We have the Invoker, so we have the full combo here on... Yeah, if we... Let's... You know, we can play one of the Pili-Palas here. See if it sticks. That's a Mole Drifter, okay. They draw 2. So we win here, okay. Run a land here. Enchant the Pala. Combo time. Roll out the Invoker here. We win the first game, beautiful, beautiful. So second game, they will probably bring some counter spells. We need to be careful here. They may bring some red spells, although I don't think they do play red actually. So we will run some counter spell action here. I will take out these creds. Let's run out the Pyroblasts. Let's take away the pools as well. And I don't know how many red spells do they play, but let's try the Pyroblasts. They maybe have some like lightning bolts in the sideboard. Let's try this. It looks like a pretty good hand, I like this. We have the revealed and so on, let's keep. We are lacking a bridge, but that can be fixed. Okay, they go for Molten Tributary. Pyroblast is great. One Tron land. Prophetic Prism, sure. Let's land cycle the Lorien here. And go for the Fjord, we need red source. Here's the bridge though. I don't think it matters necessarily. Let's roll out the bridge here and keep a dispel. Okay, they are trying to find Tron probably. Here's another prism. Map. Okay, so next turn Tron is on the board. Wildfire. Let's Wildfire. Roll out with the forests. Draw a card. Preordain is good. Muldrifter, okay. Do they have Ephemerate? I mean, if they have Ephemerate, that's pretty insane. Okay, we find a land too. So I would like to keep up the Pyroblast, the Bolt, and this maybe. We need, yeah, that's pretty crazy though. You know what? I will roll out the Wildfire first. Let's go for the, honestly, Island. Oh, another Pyroblast. Okay, let's go Falls and say go. Yep, they find another land with the Expedition map. I think Lightning Bolting would have been cool. I maybe should have done that to the map trigger, but we will wait for the Ephemerate maybe. Do hit us for 2, no problem. Roll another map, okay. End step, okay. Lorien revealed. It's pretty good. Although a bit expensive, I would say. Let's run the Preordain first. Pili-Pala Wildfire. I kinda like Wildfire. Let's run Wildfire. Let's take Wildfire. And take the mountain, definitely. Find bridge, that's good. And just say go probably here, right? Yeah. We have double Pyro. They hit us for 2. They have a full hand of control, I think. But we have double Pyro and this spell should be okay. Okay, roll out the Expedition map for 1,000,000 lands. They have like infinite mana right now. Yeah. Let's chill. This spell is good. Let's roll out with the Lorien first. Draw 3. We could Bitter Reunion and go for the combo next turn. Could discard the Lightning Bolt, for example. I guess it could be the Dispel too. Or the Pyroblast, because we don't know if all their removal is blue, right? Because the Wildfire is very necessary for the card draw, we don't have much. But if they go for the Ephemerate, the Bolt is important too. Let's discard 1 Pyroblast. Double counterspell, pretty good. We would have to cycle that. The cycling is pretty good, actually. The cycling is pretty good. They go for Mystical Teachings. Sure, they can find whatever they want. Ephemerate, makes sense. We need to discard 2 cards. 2 cards? Damn. Counterspell. I wanna keep these 2. I wanna keep these 3 as well. I'm tempted to discard the Lightning Bolt, honestly. Nah, let's discard the Wildfire. We need all the interaction in the world here. Go to combat. So will they Ephemerate or another Muldrifter? I think we will... I mean, do we care about them drawing cards? I don't necessarily think so, actually. That's fine. All that matters are counterspells. Graveyard, we don't really have anything there, so... Okay, they cast something here. Another Muldrifter. Well, no problem. End step. Okay, so they are fully tapped. I'm not sure if that was the best idea, but... They discard 2 cards. Find a bridge. That's not the best, but that's fine. Let's try go for the combo, I guess. Pili-Pala. Cultivation. Haste. Make mana. We win the match. Yeah, I don't actually think we would get to the combo. What do we have here? Bridge, yeah. We wouldn't get anywhere with this. Yep, absolutely nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. But okay. I mean, beautiful game against Tron. Alright guys, so hello, and I'm back with the conclusion about this Temur Pili-Pala deck, and I was surprised. Now at the beginning we had a couple bad games because we didn't have the best draws, and I was like, well, this deck is not very consistent and I quite didn't like it. And then we had 3 games in a row when we actually drew decently, and this deck is actually nice. I love the fact that it has a very clean package with the combo. You know, you can find the pieces very easily using the drift of Phantasm and so on and so forth. The counterspells were amazing. The Cleansing Wildfire is the only problem. It might seem kinda crazy, but I'm not sure if this deck wouldn't be better with no wildfires and no bridges. We could also cut the lightning bolts and played 4 Scrats and 4 Bountiful Landscapes, and maybe add some more card selection and card draw, because what I was lacking was a little bit of the speed and the consistency on the card draws. I think in general this deck was pretty awesome, I have to say. But the consistency with the wildfires was a little low. I'm not sure what to do about this, if like removing the wildfire would be better and the bridge package, and adding 4 scrats, removing the bolts, and maybe keeping Muddle the Mixture as an option for this deck. I don't really know, but in general, in this state as it is right now, it feels quite nice. It's a pretty strong deck, you know, with a Bitter Reunion, you really can go off literally on turn 6, you play the Pala, you put the cultivation on, you make it haste, and that's it. The wildfire is good in the sense that it allows us to go off on turn 5 or lower if we have multiple of the wildfires. But I'm not sure. That's the decision I'm really not sure about. But in general, love the brew, right? Sideboard, very clean, very lovely. It was really nice to have all the options of those cards. The Tangle was really amazing in some matchups. Same with the safekeeping against the Mono Black Devotion. And yeah, that's basically it for the deck. Let me know how would you improve this deck, because I really want to make this work. I think it's a lovely shell for the Pili-Pala combo. And I will see you next time, and thank you for watching. See ya!